Hi everyone! If you already know me, I'm Leisha, and if you are new here, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing a book review of Murder Maker by Margaret Johnson, and this video has spoilers, so if you don't want to know them, read the book and watch it later. So let's get started. The story is told by the main character, Carla, a woman who had just had her relationship broken up by her ex-boyfriend. He told her he had met someone else, and from that point of Carla's life, she had become someone really different from the person she was before. After they break up, she had a miserable life, and she lost the meaning of being alive. But she refused to resign her sanity to her ex, so she met some 3 other women who was passing through the same in their lives. One day, when Carla was talking to her new friends, she felt like she wanted to remove from her life and her friends' lives those guys who ruined their dreams. And because of that, she decided to go after her friends' exes and kill them. She went to Cuba, Roxanne, and Strauss to kill them, and she did her job successfully. The first 2 she murdered were pretty easy to her, and she was feeling powerful and determined to kill the next one. But the last one, Pete, was a different one, who didn't annoy her and she fell in love with. But now you ask, why did she kill him then? Well, because she was afraid he knew about the crimes she had committed before, and in answer of that, she killed him. But differently from the other previous murders, she didn't feel happy and satisfied with her job. So right after her action, she got into the car and drove. As she wasn't really okay, she crashed her car into another one, and from the moment the woman who was driving the other car started to yell to Carla, she got stressed and started to hit the woman. To finish, she got arrested because of that violent reaction she gave to her car crash, but her 3 friends still went to visit her and thank her from removing those toxins from their lives. Before I start to give my opinion about what is in the book, I would like to share with you a really nice curiosity. So do you remember when Carla added in her writings that when she was in Cuba, she didn't feel secure, especially when she was walking in the streets? Well, the Latin culture is really sexist, and many women are abused and treated as sexual object for men. Because of that and many other reasons, during the 1960s, feminist group called the Federation of Cuban Women, in Spanish, Federación de Mujeres Cubanas, was established in the middle of Cuban Revolution. The women who were part of the group got motivated because of a national campaign in Cuba called La Alfabetización to eradicate illiteracy. The Cuban government was summoning people up to learn how to read, and their goal was to eradicate illiteracy within 1 year. Wow, but only men were showing up to the campaign because women didn't feel encouraged to be educated. So the women from the Federation of Cuban Women went after those ladies to tell them, like, we have to be taught for the country. Successfully, more than 91,000 women got part of the campaign, and many of them became teachers of 11 to 16 years old teens some years later. Finally, in 1961, Cuba was officially declared a territory of free literacy, and 55% of the literate people were women. Furthermore, after some time in the 1970s, the feminist group tried to figure out why many women were leaving the unemployment even after an improvement that gave women the right to work. They made an inquiry to investigate those gender differences, and the result was the Family Code of 1975, which guaranteed men and women the same rights at work and also equal responsibilities at home, so they both could spend similar hours working and earning their own money. And what those women did in the last century was a big step for girls all around the world, because in some countries, women don't even realize that they could have their rights guaranteed. And the debate about respecting, valuing, and encouraging women still has a lot to grow, but the Federation of Cuban Women was a start for letting feminist groups to go after their rights. First of all, I'm not a psychoanalyst or something like that, so it's just my opinion about how the characters reacted and acted in the story, but most of them were kind of troubling for me. Starting with Carla, I understand and see how miserable she felt after having her heart broken by someone she trusted and believed, but her only problem was what she did to get over that situation. I know she wanted to see her ex in the same way she was, but killing other people as a result of that truly wasn't ideal, you know? And besides doing those unacceptable things, she fell in love with her friend's ex-husband, and that was someone she knew that was bad for her friend, you know? I didn't like her attitude, and my conclusion is that Carla is self-centered, and she just did things that was nice to her without thinking about the people around her. Then we have her friends Diane, Jima, and Katie. And differently from Carla, I thought they would regret being happy about killing her exes, but at the end of the story, they loved the idea. And even if they didn't like them anymore, they shouldn't be grateful for their deaths. You know, I don't see this as normal, because taking someone's life is not just, oh, you broke my heart, so let's remove you from my life. It's more serious than that. After, we have Eller Cartwright and Terry, the first two victims of the book, and we have to agree that they were the worst guys, not just because of the way they treated women, but the way they behaved in life. They acted like they were the best men in the world and that nothing could defeat them, but they only downgraded the others around them so they could feel powerful and giant, but they were not what they thought they were. Now, Louis and Pete were less problematic than the others. You know, Louis was a nice man to Carla, and as far as we know, he didn't used to disrespect women, but we know he was involved with illegal business, which isn't that pleasant. I believe that if he had to choose, he wouldn't choose to live that life, but unfortunately that was his reality. And I think that for Pete is quite the same, because he was a nice man inside, but what he was passing through with Carlos' depression, money, and also his little boy wasn't an easy challenge for him. And last but not least, we have Ben, Katie's little boy, who unfortunately had to pass through a lot, even when he was very young. You know, he had to grow up with a depressed mother and without his father. So I hope he got a way to get over that and live a good life with those circumstances. I felt a lot reading the book because I was really into the story and I wanted to know what was going to happen after every chapter. So most of my feelings were the same as what the characters were feeling at the moment. So I would feel angry, dislike, fear, anxiety, relief, love, disappointment, you know, everything they felt. I believe all the characters felt a lot through the story because they were all too confused to know what to feel. So, for example, when someone was murdered, they didn't know if they should be happy because the person was bad or sad because it was a human being. And Carla was the most confused one because she didn't know if she felt any regret for her actions or if she felt relieved to remove something heavy from her life. Now about the story. I really enjoyed the book and I had a lot of fun while reading it, but I really don't think something like that would happen in real life. Well, first, murdering someone isn't that easy, and after every crime, many investigators analyze the crime scenes, and I'm sure they would find a proof there. And furthermore, I think it's impossible that the other people that Carla talked to, or her family, or even the victims' families, didn't go after explanation or answers to those 3 murders, you know. So to conclude my idea, I think that the plot is nice, but if it was going to happen in real life, Carla would have needed a little more effort. I would recommend this book to someone who wants to read something enjoyable and amusing, even if I don't agree with some aspects of this story. And if you have already read the book, let me know what you think of it here in the comments below, and also if you like the video or not. So, bye bye!